Man City Arsenal game. Unfortunately for our Ruthless Gooner here, I'm going to bring up the score along with it there. So it's a 3-0 victory for Man City. Look, to be honest, again, we have an Arsenal supporter and he can give his 100% rant on it, I'm guessing, but they started off well, in my opinion.
They did.
They started off well. They didn't get to a point where City were bombarding that defense or anything like that. It was just more along the lines. Everyone was trying to find their groove. And even when City did, Leno pulled off some amazing saves, I should say, kept them in, especially in the first half. But it was it was an assassin in disguise, Mr. David Luiz, who just caused all the problems for Arsenal, unfortunately.
Agent Luiz.
Agent Luiz. Look, we had Agent Luiz. We had Agent Czech.
Agent Czech. Yeah.
We're all going there, mate. It's all part of the plan.
London has fallen.
London has fallen. But look, Man City getting the 3 points. But yeah, Deniz, what do you reckon here? What should happen? Nah, it's all good. Look, I'm catching you off surprise like the Arsenal defense.
What should happen, as in?
Just with David Luiz, I reckon that's the best example here. What do you reckon? Like, is this coming to a point where Arteta goes, look, because he came off the bench. It was Pablo Mari that came off injured.
Yeah.
And then David Luiz came on. Is this the time where they go, David Luiz, you're done and dusted here?
Yeah, I believe so. His contract runs out in June 30. So if we're going to extend it, just extend it for another month or whatever until the Premier League finishes, and that's it. Don't extend it for another year. In my previous videos, I was talking about, we should keep him for another year. His experience, he's actually been playing well under Arteta. But after those 2 games, the game against Brentford, that stupid mistake he made, and this game obviously against Manchester City, those 2 crucial errors. At that age, 33 years old, you should be experienced. You shouldn't be tugging players down in the box like that. So it's unforgivable. And yeah, I think we should just get rid of him and look for some younger players.
Younger blood in the defense.
A lot of irony in Deniz's previous videos on his thing. I happened to catch one of his episodes last week where he talks about how much choice they have in the centre back and how much of an experience, as you just said, David Luiz is. And amongst a team with so many young players, he was the one that needed the most, coaching, or he needed more experience by his side. Maybe the youngsters can teach him. He needed guidance. Yeah, he needed a mentor on the field to tell him what to do. I mean, that first goal that he lets Raheem Sterling have, it's just
that's amateur.
It's so lazy. It's such a lazy attempt to get the ball, as we talked about off air, so late in the half. Why aren't you smashing that ball out of there? But yeah, look, just when things, we talked about it a few weeks ago where Arsenal's on this amazing run. Obviously, Deniz, they haven't lost this year. Man City were all over the place where they dropped points to Man United. Then a couple of weeks before that, they dropped points again. But I think for the first time in a long time, we saw a dominant or a confident Man City, especially in De Bruyne and Sterling.
I don't think that was a confident Man City, to be honest. I think that was just
I don't think so.
A lion just devouring a deer, unfortunately, a 3-legged deer, because it was just like, when you look at the game itself, if that goal doesn't go in, there's a different Arsenal coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? If like, we're all talking about ifs and buts here, but when David Luiz did that error, it just felt like you can see it in a few plays. You can see it in
Aubameyang. I would have been surprised if Aubameyang.
I didn't see Aubameyang, but I saw Bellerin. I saw Bellerin's reaction, and he was just more like,
he's like, fuck your shit.
I don't think that was his reaction, but it was more of a sense of disbelief, as in, like, we just did all this work, and now just before, like 60 seconds before halftime, we're going to cop this shit. And then, again, the tug in the penalty area, you just don't do that. I know Mahrez is faster. I get that, and Mahrez did milk it. He threw himself up.
It's a red all day, bro.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's a red all day. I will never justify that red card. It's just the way that he just jumped in the air for it. Like, how do you lose your legs when you're getting pulled backwards? I don't understand. But
they all do it.
They all do it.
Unfortunately, but
it is what it is. And look, I agree with Den here with David Luiz. I've always said, and again, I'm on record here because of our previous podcast. Yeah. I said David Luiz on his good day, he's unstoppable, especially in centre back. But that's not his position. His position is not centre back. He is, in my opinion, one of the best CDMs at his time. Because why? He's fast, he can shoot, he can defend, he's an annoying, he's a prick.
He's got a good long ball on him
But
too.
exactly.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
But in centre back, you are literally the last line of defence, and that pressure doesn't work on him. And then, as you can see in these types of games, it's sort of stuffs over everyone, unfortunately.
I was surprised when he went to Arsenal.
It was a last minute
I know
deal.
it was, but I didn't think.
It was a panic buy for us because Koscielny wanted to leave, and the club tried to keep him. So Koscielny went on a strike, said, "I'm not playing for this crap team." And it was just a last minute panic buy. David Luiz wanted to come, and we got the deal done.
And I think it didn't help you guys that Frank Lampard sort of pushed him out as well from our end. Because in my opinion, look, again, this is just what we see in the media. We don't obviously 100% agree with what they say, but considering his attitude and his mentality in the team, as we've seen before on the field, Frank Lampard was aiming towards getting rid of anyone that's going to pretty much disrupt what he's trying to build. And David Luiz was apparently one of them. So, look, I think Arsenal can rebuild from Arteta's perspective, but I think you guys just need to spend a bit of money on that one, unfortunately. Whether Arsenal do that or not, historically, you guys have...
We're going to call the Gronkies, man.
Don't get me started on the Cronkies, man. Don't get me started on them.
Historically, they haven't been ones to spend money. But look, just looking at that game itself, look, no shots on target for Arsenal. Again, that pretty much just speaks for itself. There was one move, and I can't remember who had the ball, but it was Aubameyang. He made a mad run. Like with his speed, you should be able to just give that ball to him.
And he went the other way.
And then you can just see...
I would have just fucking walked off.
Just the disconnection between in those movements.
The midfield as well really just stood out, eh?
Yeah, exactly. And when these teams aren't gelling like that, especially, I understand that this whole pandemic stuff happened, but this isn't new. This isn't something new. It's the same way I give shit about Chelsea and their defense as well, and how there's no connection. You can see it in other teams as well. So, look, again, possession, I don't think that's a surprise. Man City leading the way in that one, but you just got to look at the fact that even after not playing football for 2 months, Man City went out there, 18 shots, 12 on target. You can just see that mentality where if I don't think even Pep would be happy with that, considering what's happened, because that's just not... He's the type of manager where I want 20 shots on target. That's our minimum. And that's the mentality that these times have. Exactly. And Liverpool is another example of that, where it's just smashing that goal. And teams like Arsenal and Chelsea as well, we're playing catch up to that, unfortunately. Look...
I was just going to say, up until half time, I don't think we conceded too many shots. Maybe it was about 8 or 9 shots. Yeah. But I think it was after Garcia got injured, they were all over us.
Yep.
So they were down to 10 men and they ended up dominating us. Yeah. And that's where all the shots came from, I think.
Yeah, and look, just City doing what they do. Obviously, with 10 men, they're not going to let you have the ball. They're not going to let you shoot. They're not going to let you do anything. And it takes teams like...
They're going to box the shit out of that.
Exactly.
But once again, irony, you're 10 men, you have less players. But in the third goal, Arsenal had 3 times as many, and City still got 3. It was, like you said, up until half-time, Arsenal didn't let Man City dominate. It was second half, especially after the sending off, it was all right, let's just give up on this. That third goal should not have been a goal.
Yeah, I completely agree. We had players... It came off the post, so we should have defenders ready to clear the ball. But even the lineup, I wasn't happy with the lineup. We had Saka starting as a right midfielder, and he's been playing left back and left midfield. Eddie and Nketiah playing up front, when we got a world-class striker playing left wing. I don't know why Arteta keeps persisting with that left wing.
With that...
I just don't get it.
With that, if you play I'm a left footer, I've played left, right, and whatever. I prefer, personally, I prefer right, because you can cut the ball. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of. Maybe that's what Arteta saw. Put him on the right, give him the ball, he can cut back in.
I get that, but
that's the only thing
he has not played right midfield ever since I've seen him play for Arsenal. He's always been on the left, and we've got Nicolas Pepe. Where was he? Where was Mesut Ozil? He's on 350k a week, and he's not even in the squad.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think it's
Ozil
like-
has his own problems at the moment, considering he's getting abandoned by sponsors. I think Arteta came out and said he just doesn't see something in him, or there's no motivation or something like that out of Ozil. So I think there's
That's-
just a
we
massive
all saw
problem
that.
between coaching and player at the moment regarding Ozil and Arteta.
I reckon he's finished. He's done. You know, he's a waste of money. He's just relaxing in London. He's always just playing COD or whatever he's doing.
It's not his
You know,
fault.
he's always got a back injury. He's sick, or there's always an excuse with him. And when you're on that money, you should
gotta
come in the
perform.
team and change the game. He doesn't do that. He's just a passenger. So I can't wait till we get rid of him as well.